What is up, everybody? It's episode 41 of the fAnaticZ podcast. I am Damien.
You already know it's Dylan.
Frankie is right here.
And we are here. We're back and ready to go. No Jack today?
No Jack. He is working on moving into his new digs in Ohio.
Nice. That's what's up. Dang, that's crazy.
Entering the dog pound.
Shout out to Jack. Good luck to you, brother, out there getting your stuff together in Ohio. Let's bring it back.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, damn. Phoenix, Arizona.
But man, yeah, how about them D-backs, boys?
How about those sucky scoundrels?
Not great. We have a lot going on with these guys.
They duped us. They started out super hot, and then the bats disappeared.
The Diamondbacks.
Exactly. And you know what really kind of irked me? I'm going to get straight to the point. You know what really kind of irked me the most during that entire Astros series? Now Christian Walker wants to become Mr. Clutch against us. Dude literally went 10 for 18 against us. He drove in 2 runs. One of them was a go-ahead. And then what, game 1? It was already 3-1 or 4-1 against Zach Gallen's disastrous game, which we can get to a little later. He drives in another run, widening the gap. Basically a game over for us if we didn't go 8-0 in the 7th, 8th inning like we've done before. So, yeah, he became a huge factor in that series, driving in 2 runs. And so, yeah, now he wants to become Mr. Clutch in that series, which kind of irked me a little bit.
Him being over 500 batting in that series is absolutely insane. Like, obviously, I knew he wanted to come in and take care of business because he thought apparently he was done wrong or some way on the way out now. But
yeah, in the interview that he had too, saying he did enjoy his time here, but what he did say that he wasn't offered anything. That's actually kind of false, because I remembered us discussing when we first started this show. He was offered a qualifying offer to stay with us. So obviously the Astros had a better offer waiting on the table, and he decided to choose that. So that's completely false. We did offer him, and we did had interest for him to stay here. So,
Maybe he wanted something more worthy of someone that just got you to the World Series or helped you get to the World Series, because he didn't get us there by himself, but helped you get to the World Series. But I mean, I think, and all said and done, it worked out for the Diamondbacks. So
it was definitely a vengeance game for
Christian
him.
Walker too. He got his money, and he's on a good team. So,
and he got his vengeance series against us for sure. So
sure, he spanked our butts.
Yep.
Yeah, but unfortunately enough, you have the success of Christian Walker, who was on that World Series team, and then you have the flip side too. One of the main reasons why we've struggled to find consistency is Zach Gallen cannot find his stuff this year. Every time we have a chance and we're on a hot streak, he's pitching and he gets shelled.
Yeah, I joined that fade.
So automatic.
I joined that fade a little too late when Damien went on that ride for like 2-3 weeks when he was K'ing out like 8+ batters. And then the week I tried, he went back to dog shit.
That's great, dude. That's actually literally hilarious. Yeah, that last time I bet him, I'm like, this is probably it right here, man. This is probably it, because he just doesn't look the same, but pitchers are very up and down. He could find his stuff again. I just don't know if I don't know if he has the time for that.
I was gonna say, he's gonna be pitching again in this next series we have coming up in Pittsburgh. And just go ahead and guess the matchup, because we're playing the Pirates. Gallen is matched up against
Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens. Oh, lovely.
Paul freaking Skeens.
So Paul Skeens may actually get a dub in this time around, huh?
That's so funny. I know we just talked about it, but I'm gonna bet. I know the Pirates don't really strike out all that much, but I have a feeling that Zach Gallen is gonna fan some people. So I'm gonna bet on that.
And PNC,
I'm gonna get his 8Ks, because they're probably gonna be sky high this time, dude.
I mean, he is doing an audition. Either, at the end of he's either going to be moved by the deadline, or with how he's pitched the entire year, basically we're going to get him back possibly at a bargain, because nobody wants to give that, with the season he had, that much guaranteed money.
Yeah, even though he's had a bad season, I would still take him back next season. Even you know what I mean? Like I
Right,
don't
yeah,
think.
100%. Like, I would bring him back, but he's definitely not the $50 million guy that he was at the
Yeah,
beginning
yeah, yeah.
of
He'd
the
have
year.
to take a haircut, but he would definitely. I definitely wouldn't want him to go somewhere else and become like a menace against us because that's what always happens. Look at Christian Walker just did. It doesn't
Oh, yeah.
matter how they're playing the rest of the year. When they come back to Chase, they're gonna crush, you know. Or when we go see them, they're
Oh,
gonna try
yeah.
to crush.
I mean, it's happened with Peralta. It's happened with.
Like it's our we this it's the thing that we do.
I mentioned on our ASF official X account that I should have counted, but the amount of games that Zach Gallen has given up more than he's given up at least 4 earned runs is atrocious. I literally looked up and down 4 runs, 5, 6, 3. Like it was ridiculous, and very few solid gem ace games that you saw of Zach Gallen. I was like, it comes to a point when D-backs build momentum and he has those couple of good games, and then we just get shell shocked, and then like we saw that Astro series, it just goes downhill from there. And then we got to find a way to ignite that spark, but we don't take off from there. The D-backs haven't done that all season. And when I mentioned it was like, is there a point in time where Zach Gallen could possibly just go to the bullpen and maybe get it figured out because we just need help there anyways? But then at the same time, we lose an arm in the rotation, and then that actually might piss them off too, and it might be adios.
Well,
So
it's not even that, but it's just like you don't even 100% know who could be able to step in and be consistent to replace Gallon in the rotation.
yeah.
Yeah, we're better off just freaking leaving him out there to suffer if he's got to suffer this year. You know, it's not like we're contending right now. So
I was gonna say there's Mike Hazen is in a very interesting position because like he basically since he does have the hottest hitter in baseball in Eugenio Suarez, he can basically ask his price if he wants to sell, or he can and then realistically, even if we do sell off Naylor or Suarez or somebody like that, if we do bring in like at least quality pitching or at least somebody that can jump in right away, like who knows? But it's better right now to get something for one of these expiring contracts than let them walk for nothing in a year that we don't even know if it's going to end positively or negatively.
that's the sucky part about the Geno situation is that we can't just let it roll till next year.
That's
Like,
a
because
sorry, go ahead, Dame.
huh?
Sorry, I kind of butted in.
It's all good. I said that's the sucky part about the Geno situation. We just can't see how it plays out because he's a free agent. You know. So if it doesn't go well, somebody can just offer him way more money and he's gone. You know. So
Yeah.
trading him might be the way to go. But I just think we can't trade Cattell or Corbin, right? Like
No, those guys are still the face for the next 5 years. But
maybe
if you can,
Cattell might be more open to dipping since he just got robbed for $400,000 worth of stuff out of his
But
house.
oh
here,
Jesus,
here's the thing, though. We've been discussing for months pitching, whether it was in the rotation and bullpen. And I been thinking bullpen, but like if we trade Eugenio Suarez, and like Gamma reported about an hour ago, there's 12 teams interested in Eugenio Suarez right now. Mariners and the Reds included, his former teams. So I'm not surprised the Mariners want a refund and try and get him back. But
No way.
like
Sorry, any team but the Mariners.
you
I
need
know,
I'm
but it's
sorry.
like, sorry, go ahead, Frankie.
The way he's hitting, you can't like. We need to ask for no less than like a top 20 pitching prospect in return.
But this is like a total 360 turn, though. From what Frankie was just saying, like, are we technically kind of accepting, like, hey, Eugenio's gone and we're just throwing the white flag,
No, I'm
and we're
saying,
just
hey,
not
if we have to trade
because
him, this is what I would like. I
but
would say
he's been
sign
the
him to a
major haul
long-term
of our
contract.
offense. He's been the major haul of our offense this season.
He's
If
been
we
the
want,
only.
is there still that chance we go after pitching? We can still make that wild card.
That's
You
fair.
feel me? So like, if we keep Eugenio, then they're gonna have to be buyers and go after pitching.
Well, the
And
thing
see,
about it is, if they keep him, then they have to do something else. They can't just do nothing. You know, like you have to trade someone
my
because
thing is a possibility that we could do. We have Naylor, obviously, who could be on the block because he's on an expiring deal. You move him, get potentially pitching, in return, and then you play Pavin Smith at first base.
But
Nah,
how much
Naylor, keep
pitching can we
Naylor there,
really
bro.
get? Huh?
The core's fine. They got to go after pitching. I can't express that enough. And if they get rid of at least 2 of those guys that they've mentioned the last month, then that's just throwing the white flag right there. Because look, we just paid Corbin a multi-year contract for $70 million. Same with Cattell around the same price. Why can't we pay Eugenio a little more? You feel me?
I mean, but you're saying we have to go after pitching. How can we go after pitching without trading anybody?
Our farm is going to have to be the only way. We were just in the World Series 2 years ago. We have one of the best farm systems in the major leagues still.
But 2 years ago, Zach Gallen was freaking fanning everybody and their mom out. He was going crazy. He was a monster, a machine. We were just like, whoa, I can't believe we have this guy, you know?
Because you see high market teams like the Dodgers, like, hey, no problem. Here's our freaking one of our top prospects all the freaking time. Why can't we ever dig in our farm a little bit? We just seem to never do. Because we never seem to want to pay guys the big money. They walk and we go the cheap route on the low market team and be on the hopeful route. One of our guys from the major AAA is successful in the major leagues, like Corbin was, and you get lucky on a trade or whatever, just low market stuff.
Yeah, we need pitchers, bro. But
the thing is, you were just talking about.
We don't need pitchers that are prospects. We need pitchers that can pitch today, tomorrow.
I was gonna say, and you were just mentioning how we can't, we don't have very much leverage in trades. A big example of that is, I actually looked it up, and our farm system in 2 years has dipped from a top 10 farm to number 22.
And if we don't go into our farm, I still stand on what I said last week. We're still deep at outfield, even though I kind of find it funny how I mentioned Alec Thomas last week, and literally 2 hours later, dude makes a snag. So we got Jake McCarthy, Alec Thomas, Drew Jones is another solid option. I mean, he's been hurt on and off, but we
don't need that position right now, though.
No, we can get rid of outfielders with our farm guys to get pitching. We don't have to just strictly dig into our farm.
I mean, if there's a team that wants to give us a good pitcher for some outfielders, I just think that there's so many outfielders. I mean, it's not a hard spot to fill. You know what I mean? Like, it's unlike pitching. I just don't know if we have enough value there to get something that's gonna change the world. We need something we need a starter. We need another starter. Corbin's out. Zach Gallen is playing weird. We need someone that's gonna come in there. Erod kind of sucky. You know what I mean? Our best pitchers are like Fab and freaking Ryan Nelson.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Merrill Kelly. Like, what's going on?
I mean, as much as that is kind of concerning with how our rotation started this year, that is really good because those guys lately have been lights out, and just seeing them further their development, especially Nelson. Like, I'll be honest, not even a year ago, I was kind of concerned about his longevity as a starter in the league, but this year he has proven me wrong, and he's stepped up and he's looked really good, especially his last couple starts.
I was always the person that suggested dropping his ass in the starting lineup, and here we go. Here we are. He's that guy, and him and Merrill Kelly are my guys. I love them too.
I was gonna say I'll go out and say this. Like, I'm a big Zach Gallen fan, but if it came down to it, and the team was like, "All right, we're gonna keep one of you and move him," I'm with you, Dame. I'd keep Merrill.
Well, see,
do you realize how old he is, though? Do you realize he's 36 or something like that? Merrill Kelly? Yeah, he's getting old.
But the thing about it is, we got Corbin Burns. We got to make that work too.
See, but the thing is, we don't even like there's a good chance that he doesn't even play all of next year either.
That's crazy.
And he's got an opt out after year 2.
The long shot. He even said it himself. Like, he's targeting at least the All-Star break next year, but even he's like, that's not certain. And I mean, recovering from Tommy John, nothing's ever definitive.
Right, you don't know if he's going to be the same.
They better at least that 2-year opt out after that. For real, dude.
That's crazy, man. We just made some we just have an unfortunate situation with the pitching, dude. It's pretty
bad. I was gonna say we have like 7 guys from the pitching staff alone that are on season-ending IR.
Yeah, it's crazy work. Even the guys that were just like average and not that great are better than the dudes we have doing it now, and probably would change our fate a whole bunch. But that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. It's sports. There's injuries. You can't turn the injury slider off and make unreasonable trades just so your team can be good. Got to deal with reality, and I don't think the Diamondbacks front office does a good job dealing with reality and making it work.
I was gonna say they kind of hold a little bit until it's too late, and then they can't really do what they need to do.
They need to be more decisive.
The key was obviously how we started against St. Louis, but if we don't win this series against the Pirates, I mean, there's a very good chance that the season could be over, because this is a season we have to win right before we head into Detroit.
They're selling if they don't win the Pirate series, I think.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I kind of think that they have their mind made up to sell either way, to be honest with you at this point.
And here's our
the way they talk is just like, yeah, we're through with this. And it's probably because they were just in the World Series a couple years ago and they're comparing it to that, So they're probably very unhappy, and they're probably like, no matter even if we sneak into the wild card, this team isn't good enough to win it all. So why waste our time with that?
That's crazy, being 2 years away from the World Series, and now we're just getting rid of ship.
History repeats itself, dude. Just like the Suns, they were in the finals, and then 2 years from there, they were getting swept in the first round by the Timberwolves or something,
Well, and just as much, with the Diamondbacks, you have the fact that you have the failed Jordan Montgomery deal, and now you have, the Erod deal is another, very should have not been done deal, and then Corbin Burns gets hurt. So it's like any time we have thrown big money at somebody, especially a pitcher, they've either gotten shelled or their arm exploded.
You know what's crazy? I thought about this just now. Tony La Russa was the last one that got it right with Zach Greinke. When has Mike Hazen ever got it right bringing in an ace?
Oh, no. Hey,
Never.
I call it the Madison Bumgarner curse, the Mad Bum curse. Ever since we got him, dude, all of our starters have just been wonky or hurt. I can't remember a time post Madison Bumgarner that the pitching staff was not in shambles, except for when we went to the World Series. That pitching staff was came out of nowhere and was smacking people. That's when Merrill Kelly was having breakout games. Fat was having breakout games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because Fat, if I remember right, Fat was barely coming up towards the mid-season point, and then he stepped it up huge once we got to the playoffs.
Yeah, same with Merrill Kelly. They both were kind of just not big factors on the team, and then they got called upon, and they actually did well. So
speaking of Fat, he hit that 6K for me last start at plus 280.
Oh wow. Nice.
Yeah, bro. So his odds are being juiced lately on Ks when he's been striking them out. So that's a note for any of the gamblers on here. So,
but yeah, I usually stay away from his strikeouts, but he's been hitting lately.
Bro, if you're at the 5-6 Ks on his odds, you're already at the plus 200 ballpark, and he's been reaching
because
that.
He doesn't ever get that.
He's been getting that. Look it up, bro. He's been getting that at least 6 Ks in his last 4 or 5 starts. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in those, but believe me, bro, I like to bet on him and others, and I usually just go recorded outs for him because but strikeouts are good too. I mean, I swear. They were saying that
unless you're the Diamondbacks lineup with the bases loaded, then strikeouts are not good.
No.
I want to start betting on Ryan Nelson, dude.
Yeah, there you go. Me too.
Yeah. Because usually the back end guys that are usually supposed to be in the bullpen, defenders going to disrespect them on their odds, bro. They're going to be sneaky.
Sure, crazy.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
scrubs, we're not going to 3 strikeouts plus 280.
And I'm sorry, I think Nelson can easily hit 5 Ks against the Pirates lineup.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about the Pirates is outside of their big pitchers, they're not really a good team at all. They are very bad actually. They have they average 2 runs a game, literally. I haven't looked it up today, but I was doing some gambling research, and they don't score many runs. So and the Diamondbacks do, no matter who's pitching or anything, we do score runs. So usually. So if we can do that,
the Hallsman Eugenio. Eugenio's been scoring the runs
for sure. I think
he's already at 31.
I think he's hit the only person to hit a home run in 7 or 8 games, and he has 9 home runs in that span. You know what I mean? But he
could hit 50, dude, which is crazy.
I'm
Yeah, he's the
calling
only
it.
person on the team that's hit a home run in like the last 7-8 games, which is
I'm
ridiculous.
calling it. He's gonna hit 2 more home runs in the Pirate series.
West. He might hit him in the first game. That
He
man
gonna
might
hit
be
it. He
having
gonna hit.
multi
He gonna
homer
hit it.
games.
He gonna hit it in right field at PNC into the river, dude.
That's
Bro,
so
it's so short. It's so short in right field. It's only like what 320 feet or some shit, especially on the very right side. So
yeah.
it's doable.
Juice though, man. I just want to see something, man. We
I only
started
know
out.
that because I play too much show. So
This man plays way too much show. Man.
yes, sir.
The good old D-backs, bro.
Dude, I mean, like I've said before, I honestly feel like in a sense, because we beat the Yankees in 2001, I feel like that's our curse that we're living with.
I'll take it, bro. If I'll take that curse. We went back to the World Series. We've tasted glory once again. I mean, we
Wait,
swept the Dodgers. Even though we didn't win, that was still an awesome season to be a Diamondbacks fan. It was still awesome. It still felt electric, and I thought we were going to win. So we beat the Yankees, and like with the greatest team we'll probably ever have. So
I mean,
I
a
mean,
pitching staff especially.
yeah, I mean that team was just like ridiculous legends. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those people are ridiculous legends because they just were very good baseball players. So I wouldn't trade that championship for anything. I still remember when they won that championship. I was living in a shelter with my mom as a kid, and we were outside dancing in the street. I was not a baseball kid. I did not grow up watching baseball, and neither did anybody around us. But everybody was in the streets dancing, hugging each other. We won. We did it. I'll never forget that. So,
That's awesome.
curse or not, I'll take it. It
I was
was an
only
awesome
3 years
season.
old when that happened.
I don't even remember how old I was. It was 2001, 2002,
I was 10.
2001,
I was only 3.
25 years ago.
2001. I was 9. Yeah, I was 9 years old. I'm an old man.
I shouldn't be punished as a D-backs fan because I don't even remember 9/11, bro.
That sucks, bro.
So I
That's
know.
so funny, but that's
Dude,
true.
that's hard.
I was at school when 9/11 happened. We all got to go home early.
Yup.
It was the craziest day ever, bro. That's something else I'll never forget. It was 9/11, bro. Just crazy. Just not a good day. Not a good day in my remembrance. Everybody was so sad. Such a sad day.
Right. It's just like, it's wild to think that we're almost to that generation that's like, what's that?
Right, for sure. We are officially at the generation that's like, what's
Jeez.
that pretty much. These kids don't give a crap, dude.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Ozzy? Who's Ozzy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
like
bro.
that bullcrap.
Dude,
Like that
honestly,
bullcrap.
I didn't grow up with. I mean, obviously, I'm well versed, so I did. But like, people were talking about. Do you remember this with Hulk Hogan and that with Hulk Hogan? I'm like, bro, I started watching with like a Mick Foley and Stone Cold and Goldberg. I don't remember Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was doing stuff 3 years before I was born. Like I
You
remember.
do.
I
But
don't remember nothing about Hulk. I remember,
NWO
and
for
not
life, my
disrespectfully, I just didn't watch that era. I watched like
uh,
Rikishi, the Dudley Boys, Mankind, Jake the Snake, Jericho, Edge, those dudes. That's what I remember. You know what I mean? I'm too young for that. In real life, in my wrestling, I was really really in love with like The Rock and that type of like that generation is what I knew. Vince
Oh, yeah.
McMahon's dumbass. Vince McMahon, he's nobody ever made me as mad as Vince McMahon made me. Like he was like such a good villain. I wanted to get up and go through the TV and hurt that man. He was so bad.
Always shouting at the refs on the TV. It's like, look it, he's right behind you.
But the things he would put my favorite people through, he was just the storylines, bro. He kept on popping.
you know who also has a bunch of young guns though?
Who?
Book.
The Phoenix Suns.
The Suns?
Yes,
That's
sir.
nasty.
I saw we got a couple of young cats.
Who?
I don't know. You tell me.
I have no
Butler.
idea. I don't
Honestly,
watch
it was Jared. It
basketball.
was Jared. It was Jared Butler,
Yep.
and I honestly forgot the other guy.
Jordan Goodwin and Jared
Jordan
Butler.
Yeah,
Goodwin,
Jordan
bro. He was
Goodwin.
already on the
Yeah,
Suns before.
bro, he didn't do
Dude,
anything last time. That's why I didn't remember.
He dunked on somebody pretty hard last
he
time.
had
That's all I
he
remember
had
from him.
a couple of pretty legit games, and then he just kind of got cast to the side.
You know, I think that the Suns' last couple of coaches have never tried to play anybody on the bench. They just never tried.
And
They just
without
really
that,
they didn't trust nobody off the bench, and that really like we had a bunch of people. It's like, why didn't you at least see what this person could do? And I feel like Jordan Goodwin may have been one of those guys. But those two dudes that you named, Jared Butler and Jordan Goodwin, are both the same type of player, scrappy ass, do it all type of combo guards, and I like it. I don't know why we keep getting people that aren't just strictly point guards and that play shooting guard too and do better at shooting guard, but it's pissing me off kind of.
I mean, I look at it this way. With Jared Butler, at least he is primarily a point guard, and in limited minutes last year in Philly, like in only 17 minutes a game, he was averaging almost 10 points and 4 assists. So you can only imagine if he'd gotten, more playing time, you'd see that uptick a little bit.
That he wasn't he on the Wizards last year?
Yeah, he spent time between the Wizards too.
I don't think it really
Man, this fool was
matters.
playing a lot of shooting guard. I don't know, but I agree with you. His numbers were nice in limited time. He can score. He can shoot. The lowest he shot was 30% from the three, which isn't good, but that's when he was with the Wizards and he didn't play much. Last year he shot 35% from the three, which is good. The year before
Improvement.
that, he shot 36.6% from the three. That's good. And the year before he had his worst year, he shot 50% from three. Oh, but he didn't play but 6 games. So yeah, he's like a 34% shooter career wise. Not bad.
Well, see, and the thing is, especially with Jordan Goodwin, like I don't think the Lakers even wanted to get rid of him, but it was too good of a thing to pass up with Marcus Smart. So unfortunately, he was the guy on the totem pole that was expendable.
Not just him. They had to move. They had to do a bunch of things to make that work out. I don't even know if they're done doing that actually. But yeah, you're
Well,
right.
shoot.
He was a casualty of that situation. But yeah, they have to do a lot more gymnastics to get Marcus Smart on the team officially.
Well,
That's why it
shoot.
hasn't been reported.
Even with Butler, he's just a camp invite. So who knows even what the Suns are going to do between now and the end of the offseason, because we're still linked to guys like Jonathan Kuminga, Ben Simmons, and obviously now that Chris Paul's gone, one of those dominoes fall. Who knows? We could end up with Russ.
Speaking
I honestly
of
think
Kuminga,
good.
I was gonna say, speaking of Kuminga, real quick, I saw on the Arizona Sports app pop up a couple hours ago that the Suns did send a quote concrete offer to the Golden State Warriors for Kuminga, but obviously nothing was approved, and I guess it was just they were like, "Nah, we're good."
And so did the Kings. I don't know if they said anything yet back in response, but they did send an offer.
Right.
So
it's gonna be interesting because I mean, would we rather have a guy like Jonathan Kuminga, or would we rather save that spot for a true point?
I wouldn't if I were Suns fans for the rest of the way. I don't expect anything like wow or like anything shebang. Like we did our moves in the draft and Jalen Green and all that, and like that's it. We paid Book that $75 million a year extension. Like don't expect much. That's our core. We're just getting depth guys, and that's basically it. Like
that's kind of where I'm at too. I don't think they're going to do a Russ or any point guard signings. I think that Booker's the starting point guard. They just announced that.
which
Colin
I don't like.
Gillespie is his backup. That's firm. Jared Butler and Goodwin, they're going to fight for that third spot.
Ooh.
That has nothing to do with the Kuminga stuff or anything like that. That's what's going to happen with the guards. They might bring in Kuminga or Josh Giddey at the trade deadline, but right now they finna play basketball with these people.
I mean, I look at it this way. I mean, as much as point Book is frustrating, at least he can dish the ball, he can shoot, and then of course you have a guy now like Jalen Green who, having to slide Book over to play point, you don't lose out on the scoring ability because you have Jalen Green who can fill it up just as much.
Yeah, I just wish that Jalen Green was like the same as Booker and could be effective as point guard because obviously Booker's like a top 5, top 10 scorer in the league if he just can just go score, you
Play his
know?
natural position.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I would rather him do that, but if he can still score like 25 points a game and we can win like that, then who cares? If we can win like that, I don't care, you know? But I
That's
don't know.
fair because I mean, at the end of the day, winning, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Yeah, Booker's done everything already. He's won gold medals. He's been to the finals. He's done this and that. He needs to win. The Suns need a
win the
championship.
finals.
Exactly. If Devin Booker can be the guy to bring us a championship, his legacy will be cemented.
Complete.
Yeah, he'll be
He'd get that
greatest son
Kobe
ever, no
statue.
doubt, bar none. Easy. He might already be.
But I mean, the thing is, I mean, this might be a hot take, but with how young, athletic, and lengthy our roster is, I wouldn't be surprised if this group's snuck into the playoffs this next year because we have a bunch of shooters, we have a bunch of scrappy defenders. We've not had that kind of defensive mentality and guys that can just lock down in a minute. And everybody's sleeping on Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green. I think they're going to play a much bigger part in this next coming season than people think.
I think we're gonna have a pretty raw bench. I mean, Grayson Allen's still on the team, so like if you have Kobe Brea, yeah, so far. But if you have Kobe Brea and Grayson Allen off the bench, and if Grayson Allen actually does bounce back and shoot like low 40 behind the arc, like with and Kobe does too, low 40s, like oof, that's a lethal bench right there, dude. Already, so.
You can only hope that Grayson Allen, if he doesn't get traded for Kuminga here soon, comes out pissed because they're shopping him around so aggressively. Because there's two ways it can go. He can come out with the fire, or he can come out like screw these guys. I don't care. I'm not even, my value is set. If I go out there and I play, and it might even hurt my value. So maybe I'll just not really. Maybe my back will be hurt more times than it normally would this year or whatever. I don't know, but I just feel like when you shop a player around aggressively, like we have with Grayson, it could probably affect the way they play if they have to come back during the season and play. So hopefully he's got tough skin, and he seems like the type of guy that will just go ball regardless. So
I was gonna say because as we know, he's no stranger to being linked and actually traded because Milwaukee did the same thing to him. He was a very great, good serviceable defender and shooter off the bench, and then they're like, "Hey man, we're just shipping you to Phoenix." So he's a professional all the way through. He's a good guy. I like him. So whether he stays or whether he goes, if we keep him, we have a good shooter and a good defender still.
I'd be all for trading him for Kuminga.
100%. But also
Green, Kuminga. Oh my God, that's a great Dunn and Oso.
I just wonder.
Watch out. We're like the Raptors 2 years ago. They didn't win anything, but they were all tall. It was impressive.
Grayson, I mean, we still got some defenders. We still got Mike Williams, and then
that was Mike Williams.
Mark
or Richard. Or no, who the fuck was that guy we got from Charlotte?
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams. Fuck.
Bro, that took me off my square. I'm like, Mike Williams? Did I forget a player?
No, Mark Williams.
No, he retired for the Chargers and came over to the Suns.
That is fucking great. Big old Mark. I forgot about Mark Williams, dude. I forgot about
so you got Mallock and Mark Williams. I mean, both of them can be great defense. I'm focused on defense right now because I feel like that's what we lacked with Beal and KD.
Well, I feel like the team is focused on defense too. Go ahead.
We need them as much defense as possible. So like, I feel like I'm not on the wagon of getting rid of Grayson.
Well, Kuminga's a better defender than Grayson, though, or at least equal, and he can do more on offense.
I was gonna say Kuminga can push out a 30-point game.
Yeah, but they're not going to take Grayson. They're not going to take. Well, who else would you put with Grayson Allen though to get Kuminga though?
They didn't put nobody else with Grayson. They put assets. Grayson Allen makes a lot of money, buddy. So the contract probably works out. They just have to add like a pick or two or something, to make the Warriors actually want it. But I think that Kuminga fits with what the Suns are trying to build. I think that Jordan Ott is trying to mirror what he had in Cleveland here in Phoenix, and he needs tall, lanky, gritty players. And Grayson Allen is great shooter, great defender, but he's old and slow. You know what I mean? Like, in basketball terms, he's probably
Right.
faster and younger than all of us, but not the rest of the 22, 25-year-olds on the team. And Jonathan Kuminga's a baby like them, and he's got crazy potential to be something good. Something great.
Oh yeah.
You know what Grayson Allen is and is gonna be. Kuminga could be a future building block. So for me, if I was a GM, I would make those kind of moves. But luckily for the Suns and for the fans, I'm not the GM, so we'll see what they do.
I was gonna say, because I mean, you bring in a guy like Kuminga, he's already so talented, and he, like you said, he's got a ceiling. So, I mean, this might be a huge stretch, but we could, he very well could be like a Giannis, a young Giannis, and
Oh yeah, huge stretch.
That's
Fantastic Four, Reed Richards type of stretching right there. I'm just kidding. But I get what you're saying though. He could have like uncorked potential for sure. I didn't mean to go so hard on that. I just pulled up his stats though. Jonathan Kuminga, literally, whenever he's played more than 20, this dude has never played more than 26 minutes in per game per season. That's nuts.
Well, shoot.
Steve Kerr really doesn't like Jonathan Kuminga, and the offense they run isn't really isn't good for him, and he's still averaging freaking 15, 4 and 2. You know what I mean? Averaging a steal per game pretty much in a system that doesn't fit him, where he only plays literally 26 minutes per game. That's
Right.
pretty trash. He would easily be a 20-point per game guy if he was a starter on a team that doesn't even really have an offense that's fit for him to get his buckets. So, man, I'm intrigued by Kuminga. I know a lot of people might be high or low on it. He's exactly the type of player that I like. So,
well, I mean, the thing is, and it's just like he's another player who's had limited minutes but has shown out at a high level. And we have, Mark Williams has that same, stat line. He only played about 25 minutes a game, and he averaged a double-double.
Yeah, but can he play more than that without breaking down physically after 20 games, though? Mark Williams, as much as people praise him, I'm skeptical, and I think it's going to work out, but my man has never played more than 45 games. He's played 44 games at most.
Health-wise?
That's almost 40.
Wait,
that's
health-wise or
52%.
coach's decision?
Yeah.
Mostly health.
Health, bro.
Damn.
Legitimately, 80% of that is him being banged up, dude. So that's why I'm scared. If he is healthy, oh boy, we got somebody. We have like a legitimate defensive anchor and somebody to teach Malawag all these cool tricks.
And I feel like that's
Good?
why we haven't let go of Nick Richards yet.
Yeah, no doubt. We need Nick Richards to be there just in case.
I mean, I was gonna say, because he went from basically being one of the hottest, trade names mentioned by us to basically he could be very well having a meaningful role next year still in that rotation with Malak and Williams.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I mean,
being young and athletic is a good problem to have. Like,
yes.
Because from top to bottom,
I just think 44 games at most played is just kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little bit of games.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I mean, it kind of gives you that Brad Beal feeling again, because it's just like, you know what he can do, but when he's not glass.
Let's see. Mark Williams has a history of injuries, including a left ankle sprain. Williams has suffered multiple left ankle sprains throughout his career, missing significant time during 2021, 22, and 23. In 2023, he dislocated his right thumb. Jesus Christ. Lower back contusion in December 2023, which sidelined him for the remainder of the season. Jesus Christ. He missed the first few games of this season, the one before this one, last year's season, due to an unspecified foot injury, probably his left ankle.
quite a bit.
That's a lot. That's a lot of injuries. That is a lot of injuries. Yeah. So yeah, he sprained his left ankle in November 2022, and then again in December of that same year, and then again in April of 2023. That's kind of scary. That ankle, bro. Hey, you better get
Hey,
some
I
metal put in
mean,
that, John, because that's his only problem
the
is that
Charlotte's
left ankle.
medical team you get right, or I mean, is he just made a glass like Bradley Beal?
I
That's
mean,
my question.
I think that I think that Bradley Beal is made of something that's a little stronger glass than Mark Williams, because yeah, he played a lot more. He played 20 more games every season type deal. You know, Bradley Beal's never only played 44 games. Bill was injured and stuff, but Bill he wasn't as bad as Mark Williams has been as far as injuries go.
Man,
The
that's just
lowest
that
the
I'm
lowest
happy to
amount
get
of
out of the
games
valley.
the lowest amount of games Bill ever played was 40.
I was so
And
excited about him.
listen, the lowest amount of games Bill ever played was 40, and that is 4 less than the most games Nick than Mark Williams has played.
Oh man, this is
Yeah, the
worse
most
than.
the most games Mark Williams has played is 44, and the least Bill has ever played is 40. So
No,
don't compare the two. You
I
know,
was
Bill.
so excited about
I'm pissed
Mr.
at Bill,
Mark.
but yeah, Bill is better. Oh, but he's got a lot of seasons where he played 53, dude. That's what both of
I
those were
literally
with
thought
us
our
actually.
prayers at center were answered.
What?
Dude, the Wizards. Oh, will he play more games with us than the Wizards? Yeah, 3 more games.
Oh man, that's cool.
Hey, the Wizards got the only 282 game seasons from him, and oh boy, was he lighting it up. Bradley
Shoot,
Bill's a demon, bro. Look at these stats. He averaged 36.9, 36.3 on 40% from the three and 38% from the three. My boy was cooking. I wish we could have got that, Bill. Holy cow, we would have won.
yeah, no kidding. We went from getting real deal Beal to bad news Beal.
I know.
We got real chill, Bill.
I'm still relieved that we're done with him.
Yeah, I'm happy he's gone. But the thing about it is, he's not gone, bro. He's in LA. He's right there. We're gonna play him a bunch. It's gonna
And
be very annoying.
he's
My
maybe
thing,
he might play 2 games
No,
his
he's gonna
entire
give us
tenure here
buckets, dude. That's how it
against
always
us.
goes. I'm trying to tell you guys. I just like with Christian Walker, just like with
Oh,
everyone
I
else, he's
know,
gonna come back
but
and give us buckets. He's gonna give us a 30-piece bucket of drumsticks, and we're not gonna do anything about it. It sucks, but it's true. We're gonna have young guys. They're not gonna even know how to guard him. He's gonna be making them fall over all over the place because he's a veteran NBA player. That's a number one option. The Clippers are gonna be good, and it makes me sick to my stomach because they
no, they're
all
gonna
know
be
how to play.
it's not the big 3, it's the big injury list.
That's true. It is a big injury list, but like they have so many people that I mean, if it's just James Harden, Kawhi, and Chris Paul, that's already enough.
Kawhi is a non-contact away from another season-ending injury.
That's true.
Bradley,
But
we
look,
already
Kawhi,
know. We
Kawhi
already know
played.
what Bradley Beal's case, and James Harden, low key by the year because he's getting older, is missing more games too because of rest and injuries. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully, the thing about the Suns that makes me nervous is the West is so good, and everybody's only signing more players. Us going young, it's kind of like we gotta trust the Thunder's blueprint, you know? Because
see,
yeah.
forgot about Chris Paul too, a Clipper. He's also known to get hurt any given time too for a long.
No, Chris Paul
Yeah,
doesn't
for
get
a
hurt
long.
until the important games.
Yep.
Chris Paul will be fine all season and play fabulously. But the second you guys are going to win a championship or it's a game 7, all of a sudden his wrist breaks, his back just tweaks, and his legs get weak. And it's like, what the fuck? It is like clockwork with this guy that if something big is happening, he is not going to be able to play.
oh shoot,
Or Scott Foster's going to be there making him lose the game. It's ridiculous how bad luck this guy has in the playoffs,
It's
man.
part of the script.
Yeah, man. As long as Scott Foster's kid and him are around, Chris Paul will not win a championship.
See, my thing is what gives us. I mean, and you mentioned with the OKC blueprint with how young and athletic we're going to be starting out again this next year. you have the blueprint, and you got guys who lock it down on defense, like Dylan Brooks, and developing Ryan Dunn. Imagine if you have Ryan Dunn getting more pointers working with Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, man, and don't let Rashard Fleming come out and have a Ryan Dunn type of defensive impact right from the start, because then you're looking at something special. Because Book, when he's an average defender, but when he's around other good defenders, like when he was with Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges and them, he turned into a better defender. You know what I mean? Like, so that's just how it's
Absolutely.
gonna work.
I mean, effort's contagious. It doesn't matter what end it's on.
Exactly.
Ryan Dunn already changed his shot from what I saw in summer league. He kind of fades back a little more and he throws that thing up there before it falls in. So, especially mid shots at least.
I mean, hey, this year, coming up is going to be a lot of fun because, I mean, we might not win the amount of games that would get us where we want to go right away, but at least we're going to have that spirit, that energy, and excitement back in the building because, you're going to have young guys that are wanting to play and ready to go every single day. There's not that super relaxed or, lazy mentality. Like
If
everybody's ready.
Mark Williams can play big, and Jordan I is a good coach, because you got to remember it's a rookie head coach. So it's not like we have anything guaranteed there. That's what I hated about this whole situation. It's not that we hired Jordan Knott, it's that he's never been a head coach before, and I just don't love that. You know what I mean? I just feel like, but the caveat to that is the team is young. The team isn't ready to win right now, so it's better to have a coach that um, well, this is the right time. I would still rather have a veteran coach to lead them. But if there's any time you want to put in a new coach with young guys, it's like the Cliff Kingsbury Cardinals effect. They'll probably have a good year just because they all can vibe on a similar wavelength, you know?
Right. And what's nice, Jordan taught at least going into the year is not a lot of rookie head coaches can say that they have two legit offensive studs already. So, pairing Book and Jalen Green, I think it's going to work a lot better, and we're going to see a lot of exciting basketball. And then one of the things that's especially notable for Jalen Green is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he's like, he basically was like, yeah, I love Houston, it's my home, but I'm going to drop 30 on their asses when I go back.
Yeah, he's pissed. You could tell he's heartbroken and really loved Houston and wanted to stay there for his whole career. You
But
could
what's
tell, like, you could really tell. He always talks about it. He still says like us when he talks about Houston. You know what I mean? Like
right?
he still lives in Houston.
But I think, he's slowly moving over. And since a lot of most of the Suns fans have embraced him, he's getting more, welcome. And then I feel like he's going to, love it here once everything gets established.
100%. I mean, it's just like Luka Doncic. You know, they gave a lot to that city. They built, foundations, and they have like real life ties. They're human beings. This is what a lot of people don't get about basketball players, is they're actually real people too.
Right.
They have hearts, and they have attachments to places. And so when they get called while they're at the store and said, "Hey, well, you have to leave. They don't want you anymore." It's not just, "Oh, I go get paid by a different employer." It's like, "Hey, these people that told me they believed in my dreams and wanted me to be a part of theirs don't want me no more." That's
Right.
huge, So he's hurt, and I want that hurt to come in the form of dunks and 3-pointers.
Oh, yeah. He's going to play with probably one of the biggest chips on anybody has going into this year.
Yeah,
For sure.
That's why skinny Luka scares me. Just kidding. Luka Doncic in any form doesn't scare me. I'm just gonna be real. I don't think.
He went from Majin Buu to Super Buu.
That's so funny, and he's still gonna be super boo boo. They're gonna still lose. I don't believe in the
I
Lakers,
hope
man.
both LA teams go to shit this season.
Yeah,
Dude,
I don't believe in the Lakers. I think the Clippers will be better than the Lakers, bro.
They're gonna have too much drama in that locker room.
I don't even think they're gonna have drama. I think LeBron checking out. I think LeBron is gonna be like, "Fuck you guys, win without me then," and they won't be able to.
You got any given day Aiden. You don't even
I'll
know
take my son with me.
That's so funny. They're like, "Take him." That's so funny. Hey, but Bronny's been kind of lighting it up though. I would love to have a guard like Bronny on the Suns in the next couple years. Like, if you just look at his numbers, if he can do half of that in the G that he does in the G League and the NBA, he would be one of those solid, like, I don't need to score. type of point guards, but I can kind of score. You know what I mean? Like just pass the Brock and play good defense and find Book.
Well, shoot, what's insane about Bronny is like he was so highly touted in college, really didn't do a whole lot in college, got to the league, and then his brother Bryce is a less star prospect than he was, but yet he's going to be probably playing a key role at U of A next year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Bryce's game looks like. That's fun. That's fun stuff to prospect about. Yeah,
But I
but
mean,
on a serious note though, LeBron James' kids aside, the Suns this year, I want to see Colin Gillespie playing basketball. Like, why do we sign the guy if he's just going to be a backup or not really play much as a backup? Like, what's
right.
the point? Get him
This
in the
kind of
game.
this is kind of the year that you play everybody just to figure out what you have going into the next 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yep. Get my boy Colin a shot. Get him out there. He was balling last year.
Like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun. We might not win a lot of games, but at least the energy and excitement will be back in the Footprint Center.
I think we'll win a decent amount of games. I just when it comes to the playoff seeding, there's just so many better teams. Like right now that are
Like
already know
full
each other.
veteran teams.
The Nuggets just added Cam Johnson. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like,
Well,
yeah,
that and they're
we're
getting
not in the top
Valanciunas
echelon.
to back up Jokic.
Yeah. So, I mean, Valanciunas doesn't want to be there, but
He said I guess last time I heard he's kind of changed his tune and said, "I will give my all to Denver."
oh yeah, I mean, he has to. He's under contract. Denver let him know, hey, bro, whatever you're doing with that team overseas is illegal. You're under contract, dummy. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. I can't just go over there and play for them. And yeah, so now, oh yeah, I will do everything for yeah, whatever, dude. Jonas, if you see this, no disrespect, but what the hell are you doing, man? What the hell? He said, I don't like the Denver Nuggets. They won championship with Jokic. He just wants to. I think he just wants to play.
Oh yeah.
Did you see KD? He came to Taylor Rook's wedding with a basketball as his +1. My man was dressed in a tuxedo with the basketball at his table with him.
Dude, he's ready to hoop anywhere.
He's married to the game. That was the symbolism.
Oh yeah.
How you gonna bring a basketball to somebody's wedding as your +1? That's just hilarious.
I mean, if you're Kevin Durant, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh yeah, speaking of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving was live streaming the other day, and he was talking about the Brooklyn Nets and when they were on there, and about how he was talking to James Harden about winning championships, and James Harden was like, yeah, and then the next day James Harden requested a trade. He was like, I was so confused. Like, I literally talked to him the day before, and we were all talking about championships and stuff. And then I wake up and I see that he requested a trade. He was like, what the hell? And also, he said that he did not want Steve Nash as the coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Oh. But KD really did want him. So he said, all right, KD, we're going to do it your way. KD is the king of making horrible decisions about basketball. He's a great basketball player, but why the hell would you want Steve Nash to coach you, dude? Steve Nash is not a good coach. Like, what the fuck? Pick a real coach that's going to, I don't know, man. That's crazy work. Steve Nash had never been a coach at that time. I mean, I know why. Because Steve Nash was with him in Golden State when they won as an assistant coach. So maybe he saw something in Steve Nash that didn't exist. No offense to Steve Nash, but
requesting a trade though a day after talking about winning championships is crazy work though.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Dude, that's literally like if the Suns would have traded Chris Paul right after the finals ended.
Right. It was just like diabolical levels of savageness from James Harden, dog. And I think it's because of the whole COVID shit, bro. It was like, hey, bro, you're talking about winning championship, but you're not even showing up for the damn game.
Hey, bro, if I were James Harden's like, you're the one that questioned me. You're the one that thinks the earth is flat.
That's so funny. No, hey, he said that. But the thing about Kyrie Irving that I do respect is that he's never mad. You know what I'm saying? He said, that was fine. He said, I understood. We had to talk about it, and he told me about everything and how well he was feeling and whatnot. And so I get where he's coming from. I love him. He's still my brother. You know, that's how he always is. So I respect Kyrie Irving a lot because...
Dude, he's just chill.
it takes a lot to be that like outspoken about crazy shit and still be so chill and loving to everyone, you know?
Oh,
So
100%.
big respect to him. I mean, like his beliefs are his own. I don't believe none of that shit, but it a respectable guy. I thought it was just funny how he was talking about how him and KD were making decisions behind the scenes because I picture Book and KD doing the same thing and ruining our team. Good job, guys. You ruined the team.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But I hope that the Suns can turn it around though, because it was fun watching them win and go to the playoffs and not get swept by Anthony Edwards and have him talking so much crap. That actually altered the way I felt about Anthony Edwards, and I know it shouldn't have because it's just competitive basketball talk. But he was talking so much shit. We were losing so bad, I was like, "Fuck this guy."
But yeah, no, I feel like especially with the foundation that we've at least started to retread. Give or take maybe a year or two, we'll be back in that middle pack, depending on what we have in our guys. And I think, like you said, and I've mentioned, this team is going to be a lot better than people think.
Yeah, hopefully, dude. I greatly agree, and I hope that that's the case. Do you guys want to save our Cardinals talk for next week?
Yeah, I was going to say potentially, but Dylan might have some big news breaking next week, so we may or may not be recording.
Yep.
But if we do, we can definitely hit that
next show.
Yeah, we'll hit the news with when we hit Cardinals.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good. And then, like I said, we can do a little bit of college, break in, and then bang bang. We're almost there, boys.
I know, dude. I'm going insane with no football.
Cardinals.
Me too. But hey, the first football game is 7 days. First preseason game.
Well, if you want. Well, yeah, somebody needs to get a new social media guy for the Facebook account for the Cardinals because a rookie and his vet, and it shows Trey Benson and James Conner. I'm like, he was a rookie last year.
Maybe they're saying like that's the rookie vet pair like from last year. It was just bad. It wasn't a good job by the social media people. No.
Yeah, no, that basically it's just like, man, we're definitely the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But at least we got Will Johnson locked up. We can move forward. So we got our secondary. No Fly Zone is officially back.
Yes, sir. Will Johnson and Garrett Williams.
Dang, the Raiders, Christian Wilkinson, they botched that up. Or Christian Wilkins.
Oh, no.
They're releasing the defensive tackle, Christian Wilkins. They terminated him, and they're avoiding the rest of his $35 million contract. Whoa.
Dang.
Righty.
Now that's
better them than us, right? Better them than us.
Yep.
Well, guys, on that note, if you like what you see, you like what you're hearing, there is a lot of stuff in the description for you. Merch, everything like that. So if you like it, you want to look good like us, I heard that Frankie's got some merch on the way for us.
I do. We will have the sample sizes soon, and we will be able to wear them so you guys can see what they actually look like and not from the website.
Nice. That's awesome. So with that note, we love you guys. Have a good night.
As always, show us some love.
Or morning or whatever.
And Dylan, before we do leave, didn't you want to mention a new potential sub contest you were throwing on your X?
That was with the Cardinal Talk next week.
Okay. We'll leave it there.
Later, y'all.
Later, y'all.
Take care, everybody. fAnaticZ out.